Rezig, and today I'm making something really different in terms of a smoothie. I'm calling it a Hippocrates smoothie. Now this is not a Gerson therapy recommended thing. This is just something since going off of the Gerson therapy I have made, and I found it to be quite tasty. And I call it the Hippocrates smoothie because it has almost all the same ingredients as the Hippocrates soup that is recommended in the Gerson therapy. Excuse me. So what I start with this, I'm starting with tomatoes. Just like, now remember what the soup is. The soup is tomatoes, potatoes, leeks, onions, garlic, celery, parsley. I'm not going to put raw potatoes in this, but I use a little bit more tomato. And what I've got is some beautiful creamy, I don't know if it's considered a white or a yellow tomato from the market yesterday. I tried it and it was so delicious. I said, oh, I'm going to put that in my smoothie because it really did taste good. Now I have the equivalent here of about 5 tomatoes. It was a humongous tomato that I've cut up. So I'm putting in 4 yellow tomatoes and 1 red. You can use all red. You use what you have. That just happens to be what I have and I'm using it. And then I'm putting in 1 stalk of celery that I just kind of chopped up a little bit. I'm putting in the parsley. I'm putting in 2 small cloves of garlic. And I'm putting a little handful of onion in. Now this happens to be shallot, but they're cousins. It's close enough. And there's the onion. Now that's the equivalent of of the Gerson soup. That's the tomato, the celery, parsley, onion, and garlic. I'm not putting in potato. Okay, I'm not putting in leek. I don't need that much onion in there. But what I do for just to add a little sweetness to it is I do add in 1/2 of a carrot. And just because I think it's fun, I'm putting in a little bit of some orange pepper in there. Orange sweet pepper. It's a sweet pepper. And that's all I'm going to put in, right? Oh, nuts. You know what I forgot? This is what I get for not thinking it through. Hang on, I'm pulling all my stuff out. I forgot that I did this. I like to puree my tomatoes first, and then, good day. Hope you're having an awesome day. I am having an awesome day. I hope you're having an awesome day. There we go. I like to puree the tomatoes and then put it through my colander so I can get some of the seeds out. I'm just not a fan of drinking tomato seeds. If you don't care, you can go ahead and leave them in there. But that's just me. So here I'm picking some of the onion out. I guess I could have left that in there, but okay. That's all right. You know what? When I make mistakes and show you that I make mistakes, it makes you feel better because you figure if I can do it, you can do it, right? There you go. So there's my, and it doesn't take long. I'm just going to give it a quick buzz to break it down. Acting up because you're watching. You know, I don't have this problem when I do it myself. I think I just need to break them up a little bit more so they can get down by the blade. I don't know, last time I made this I didn't have to do this. Just bear with me. See, we all make mistakes. We're all learning, right? Okay, there we go. See if that does it. Alright, see, and I didn't want to do it too long because then it actually purees the seeds, which I didn't want. So just enough to break it down. Then I've got just a kind of a big hold sieve. Pour that through. Yours would be pinker if you used all red tomatoes. There. And it doesn't all go through, so you have to kind of stir it a little bit. Oh, who's there? Hello, hello. What blender? I'm using a Vitamix blender. These guys are great. I think you could puree just about anything in there. They really do. And you can grind nuts in it. That's how you can You could make flour with it. You could grind grains, but I'm not doing that, of course. But all right. So you see, I'm just rubbing it against there to help it get through. And then all that's left is I have seeds, and I have just a little bit of tomato skin left in there, which is okay. That's fine. So see, it's just a little bit of chunky stuff that's there. I hear Vitamix is yes, I hear Vitamix is the best too, and I think a really good close second is Blendtec. I've heard good things about both of them. I had a hard time deciding when I wanted to get my blender because they both have long warranties. They both are about the same price. The only reason why I went with Vitamix is because it's been around longer. Hi there. Okay, now here's my tomato. And now that makes it easier because you know what I realized is that I don't usually put water in this. I just let the tomato be the liquid. So there's my celery, half a carrot. That's about, it's not even half a pepper. It's maybe a quarter to a third of a pepper. And just a little handful of onion and 2 small garlic cloves. And just a tuft of parsley. You can always add more. It's surprising how much you can taste everything, even without much in there, because I don't know if you've noticed with juicing, but every little thing you make, you put in there, you can taste. So you don't want to put a lot of anything, because it'll end up being stronger than you realized. What did I do? Oh. Alright, I'm looking for the lid and I just put it on. You know, it's like looking for your glasses while you're wearing them. Okay, hang on. That was about 20 seconds, 25 at the most. It smells good. And when I made it the other day, I made like a whole quart, and I just drank that during the day. I don't smell that. See? Doesn't that smell good? We have smell-o-vision, right? All right. How am I going to taste this? Here we go. Now, I do have some herbs here. This would be really tasty if you wanted to put some cilantro and lime in there. You could put a little rosemary in there. I have found if I put the green herbs in, I want to put them in later. Because if you put them in at the beginning and it gets pureed into it, the herbs are like too strong. So I would put the herbs in now and just buzz it for just a few more seconds to kind of blend them in without it actually pureeing the herbs. Does that make sense? So let's taste. Oh, it's really good. It's real refreshing. That's the best word I can think of, is refreshing. Yeah. Oh, and you don't like cilantro? You know what? There's 2 kinds of people in the world. People who like cilantro and people who don't like cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, don't put it in. I didn't put cilantro in this time. I found the parsley. I had a little bit of parsley still out in my herb garden, and I threw that in, so it's a nice fresh. But a little bit of lime would have been good in there, and I wouldn't use the whole lime. I would just use a squirt, because again, it shows up. It really shows up. What else could you put in there? You could put other herbs. You could put a little thyme, a little. Now, if you're Gerson, you can't put in basil or oregano. But if you're non-Gerson, you could put a little basil in. I'd put like maybe 1 leaf, because again, it really shows up. But this is tasty. I hope you have a chance to try this. It's just fun for something different, and you know, it's got all those good things in there for you. All those nice fresh vegetables, and you can almost use it as a cold soup. My husband called it a gazpacho, and I looked up into the recipes for a gazpacho, and the only difference really between this and a gazpacho, well, first of all, you wouldn't have pureed it. You would have left it a little bit chunky, but you put cucumber in there too. So somebody on here is asking about cilantro and saying why it's so nasty. You know, it's actually a hereditary setup in terms of how you taste things, and so you can't help it that you don't like cilantro. And there may be another factor too. Cilantro actually helps your body to chelate heavy metals, and maybe you've been exposed to heavy metals at some point in your life, and when you eat cilantro, it actually pulls the metal flavor out, and you might be tasting that instead of the cilantro. But there you go, fun little thing. And you know what? It's about 1:15 right now. In about 45 minutes, I'm going to be doing another video making a really yummy coleslaw salad. If you ever tried my Gerson sauerkraut, which is like really, really tasty,